Hey everybody, my name is Terry Craghead, and I am on the planning committee for the Oklahoma Compost Conference, and I am here to talk to you today about how to screen your backyard compost. It is great and amazing thing to do to be able to reduce the waste that we produce in our kitchens. Everybody that eats produces organic waste, food waste, so why not set it aside and recycle it in a way that reduces methane gases. But now it's been a year since you started composting, and what do you do with all that finished compost? How do you do anything with it? Well, what I like to do is screen the compost. So because I mix my food waste with leaves and wood chips, and sometimes there's big chunks of sticks, I like to sift my compost and screen it down to a smaller size and get some of the junk out of it. I'm in one of my older compost bins. If you want to take a look at it, come down here and see we've harvested quite a bit of this material. So now we're gonna dig down a little bit more. We'll see a bunch of worms. It's a little bit wet. It's not ideal to sift it when it's wet, but it'll still sift. Okay, throw this in here. So this is a cheap frame. It's kind of a heavier duty frame. They don't have to be this big. You can make it to fit really half this size would be fine for a lot of wheelbarrows. But I like to put my sifter on top of a wheelbarrow, and that way I can work here and use the sifter and just let the material fall right into the wheelbarrow. So I'm just gonna break this up with my hands. You can see there's some wood chunks in here, some roots that have grown into the compost pile. There's a random stir straw, so I don't want that. I don't want to put that in my garden. There's some candy wrapper. Here's a compostable cup that didn't make it all the way broken down. Typically you want to put these in a commercial compost facility. They're not great. They can compost in the backyard setting, but they don't always break down completely because they have to be in a hot part of the pile. But so what I'm going to do here is just kind of go back and forth with my hands. You can see there's red wigglers in the compost pile. I like to be careful when I'm screening because you can just grind these guys up, and I like to save my workers, so I'll save them and I'll throw them back into an active pile. This is a 1/4 inch screen. This is probably as small as I would go. You can get smaller screens, but I wouldn't get much bigger. I like the particle size that comes from this. But look, there's a bottle cap. Get that out of there. And so I'll take the good compost. What I like to do is throw the big chunks back into my fresh compost, my active compost pile. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna walk it over here. I'm gonna dump it. I just emptied my compost, so I'm gonna just throw this here. And what that does is it provides your compost pile with more microbes to inoculate your pile. These have already been in the compost process, and so those good bacteria are gonna just help your compost pile just keep going. So yeah, basically that's it. I'm gonna pull this off and show you the results. So yeah, if you look down here, this is a really nice, high quality compost that you can use in your garden. You can use it in potted plants. If you have a lot of compost, you can put it in your flower beds or even in your yard. Top dressing your lawn with compost helps conserve water. Lots of things to do with compost. Still have a few wormies, so I'll just leave those in there. But yeah, that's my compost screening tutorial. Obviously, you're gonna want to do this when your compost piles have finished composting. You don't want to see, a lot of big chunks of food or, cardboard from your egg cartons. But once everything looks fairly well broken down, then you can do this. And then that opens up more space to compost. You can start putting fresh stuff in your screened compost pile, and you can leave, then you can let your full compost bin to finish composting and break down. So anyways, thanks so much everybody. Again, my name's Terry Craghead, and I appreciate taking the time to watch this video. Thanks.